Greetings, Groaners! Episode 112 dawns. Yes, it's another episode of the Groan Zone, bringing you more fun and strangeness from within. Your games this week are Who the Hell Am I?, Double Down Dummies, and Gimme the Question. Now then, how do we begin the madness this week? Massey, let's get groany and then switch a game on, eh? My groans start us off. Routine. There are times when routine is good for you, but sometimes you feel like you're in a rut. I hate repetitive things, so sometimes I'll sleep in on purpose or go to bed extremely late just to break up the routine of daily life, although laying in can lead to issues, as is my next groan, which is running late. So you hit that lovely snooze button only to hit the alarm off button by accident. You wake having like 40 minutes to get to work. I hate rushing about, but routine breaking had its flaws, and running late can be one of them, as I've just stated. Being unable to relax. Of course, myself, I like to get to work with plenty of time to spare, but rushing about, getting in the last minute, and I can't even chill out. I hate that. Why do I do this to myself? I keep on asking myself. Once again, I've kicked my groans off of the precipice into the void that is the Groan Zone. But now, as promised, it's game time now with Double Down Dummies. The audience have joined in live, they're ready. Groaner, you're listening at home, so clearly you're ready. Here we go. Round 1. Our first Darwiner met his end on the 6th of November 1816 in New York, USA, and he was also buried in the Bronx. Bit of a fact there for you. Gouverneur Morris was a founding father of the US and a signatory to both the Articles of Confederation and the US Constitution. This man suffered from bladder stones, but ultimately, how did this affliction lead to his Darwin end? Was it A, he poured acid into his bladder via a tube into his willy to alleviate the pain of his bladder stones? B, he pushed a whalebone into his urethra to clear the blockage? Or C, he employed 2 servants to beat his bladder area with hammers to try and relieve the pressure? Go Groaners Live, answers please. Those at home, you know what to do. Got bees flying in there. Any more Groaners? Bees? Bees? Some C's flying in there as well. An A? Oh, more A's? Any? Oh, bees? Okay, well, some kind of spread there. Round 2. The second in our Tales of Darwin took place on 21st of March 2017 in Germany. A hapless lost soul went to buy a train ticket, but by mistake bought the ticket the wrong way. Angrily he walked off to the bar, where he had a few drinks. But what was his next action that put him on the Darwin list? Was it A, he went full on nuts at the machine, kicking it, headbutting it, and punching it, eventually pulling the machine on top of him, killing him? However, the machine survived. Or was it B, in his frustration, he punched a bar patron's wife? The husband, not taking too kindly to this, beat him to death with an iron bar stool? Or C, to get one up on the machine, he sprayed aerosol gas canisters, can after can, into the ticket machine. He loaded the empties into a bag and set them alight. The resultant explosion blew both himself and the ticket machine up. He died on the scene, even after efforts to keep him alive. Go Groaners Live, what you got for me? C's flying in there. C's. B's. More B's, more C's. Okay, fair. Oh, an A. 1 A. Okay, kind of a spread again. With our first game out the way, Groaners, we'll give the floor over to a more creepier feel with Admin Nicole's Creepy Corner. And yes, the answers will come later. Don't worry. Your story for episode 112 is called Dangers of the Heart. This was it. The moment of truth. So many primals against just 2. Yet with the numbers on their side, they forgot one crucial bit of information. No one knew exactly what these two primals were actually capable of. Not to mention the Reaper was only temporary death, and death wasn't even a primal right now. Timmy was new to being a primal, and was only bluffing about his capabilities. In truth, he had only just become a primal, and had no idea what he was even capable of. This is how mistakes are made. When you think you have your enemy cornered, yet you don't know what they can even do. Not that they asked for any of this, but what choice did they have to fight? The darkness pulled the primal of light into a darkened pit, wanting nothing more than to show it what the darkness had once lived through for so long. Timmy, with his limited knowledge of his power, was able to freeze the time inside the pit, but the primal of light just smiled. He knew exactly what they didn't. He wasn't the one they should focus on. Colour is more often than not overlooked or ignored. So many times people have failed to realise the importance of colour and its symbolism. Black for darkness and death, gold for light, green for nature. Yet what about life? Why is the primal of life wearing red? Why is red a sign of life? Red, the colour of love, passion, even rage. But what about the most overlooked one? The one that is always there, yet never remembered. The very core of life itself, that no living thing can be without. The colour this very primal chose to associate with above all others. The colour that reveals his truth, red. The colour of blood. Every primal is granted powers to protect what they are responsible for. The darkness may have been the only exception to that, but that didn't mean the other primals weren't granted dangerous gifts. Kronos, the primal of time, granted immortality. Gaia, the primal of nature, granted the power of growth. Death granted the power to commune with and command spirits. Then there's life. Life was granted the power of blood, to protect all life through the very blood it bleeds. Yet life quickly found a way to manipulate his powers. Instead of healing all life and curing disease as it was supposed to, life instead found far more joy in commanding the very blood that runs through a person. This is why light did nothing but smile. Light was granted what it always deemed to be the most useless gift, the power to light up the dark and guide people to safety, to recharge the sun itself when the time arises. One of the many reasons that made light so bitter, but even light knew how life had altered its gift to work in its own favour. Light would never let it show, but it was in fact terrified of life. Now, they were all about to find out why. Life laughed a sinister laugh, before the ground began to shake. Pillars of red began to erupt from the ground. Sharp thorns grew out of the pillars, heading straight for the darkness. The Reaper was able to use Death's sight to cut through the pillars. The one thing that can harm life was death, and the Reaper had its scythe. As long as he held out, they would be fine. Life could do nothing to him, for even though he had blood, he was not living. Both himself and Valencia were untouchable, which meant the darkness had nothing to worry about either. Dr. Quack gave them one more warning, to take the chance to do the right thing and surrender. Lionel would have what he wanted, and they could continue their plan. If only they surrendered, maybe they would still have a shot. It didn't end with the pillars though, and life could only stare down the Reaper with such disgust. Life did not fear the Reaper, it was more as if it was repulsed by it. The blood coming from the dead, it shouldn't have been possible, it wasn't right. Life would never have let this happen, but despite the power light and life have over this world, they can't control every aspect of it. The world just keeps finding a way to fight back in whatever small way it can. Yet life wasn't done, not yet. The Reaper may be able to fight back against its pillars, but that's only because it has Death's scythe. Life just kept laughing a rather sinister laugh. The darkness was unaffected, but light just smiled to its inky dark prison. The two of them knew it wasn't over. Life stared at the darkness dead in its empty sockets. Do you really think this is all I have? I beat my blessing. I will not conform to some higher calling. I bet you're curious as to how though, aren't you? That would spoil the fun though, Life said. Life kept laughing like the world was its stage, before raising its hands towards Marianne, an outstretched hand, like a warning, or something far worse, as his hand turned to a grip, and Marianne began to choke. Life couldn't just command blood to appear, he could control it. The human body was a fragile thing, yet full of blood, pumping constantly. Yet to think keeping the blood pumping, and keeping that body alive, that's the heart. The blood passing through the heart is enough for life to not only control it, but to squash it. He could see her heart and all the blood in her body. Just from where he stood, he had a grip on her heart, and now he was slowly enjoying the agony on her face as he squeezed it, hoping to slowly kill her. There was nothing life loved more than watching someone slowly suffer at his hands. This ability he had given himself was what made him so dangerous, and Light knew it. Every single week, the complexity and intricate web Nicole weaves just makes me wonder, how the devil does she do it? As always, Admin Nicole will be back with a creepy story for Christmas next week. I look forward to that one as well, with great relish. Before we move on to the second game of the week, we must first ask the age-old question and see who has also knocked on the door of unluckiness. Questions, questions, questions. I must ask the most important one. Why oh why? People with no grip on reality. Case in point. A man walked into the Marketplace shopping centre in Bolton. Not wrong with that mystery, I hear you say. Oh yeah, he was dressed up as Art the Clown from the horror franchise Terrifier, mask and all. Why do idiots like this do such stupid stuff? The police gave him a verbal chastising and sent him on his way. People with no grip on reality and not taking responsibility for their actions. I just have to ask, why oh why? Straight on to Oh Unlucky! This one's a belter. A man of 42 years of age, 1 year older than yourself, same host here, failed at getting a part in an upcoming TV show, the new Harry Potter TV reboot. Was he going for Harry or Ron? Neither. He wanted the part of Hermione. I get we live in modern times of different genders, etc. But mate, 1, you're flipping 42, you're not a kid, and most importantly, number 2, Hermione is supposed to be female, not played by some dude in drag. Unlucky for both being turned down, and also clearly for not understanding again. Hermione is bloody female, not male. Phew! Enough insanity. For another game is calling. We now must play Gimme the Question. Round 1. Your answer is goiter. That's Goiter. Your questions are A. What is an insult that died out in Shakespearean times? B. What is a medical term for the enlargement of your thyroid gland? Or C. What is the French word for the chef who is responsible for making soup? Go Groaners Live. Answers please. Those at home, you know what to do. C's are flying in there. Any more Groaners? Any more answers there from Groaners Live? They're thinking, oh, here we go. B's are coming in as well. More B's, more C's. A's are flowing in as well. We have a spread. Okay. Moving on. Round number 2. Your answer is a Cooper. Cooper. Your questions are A. What is the name of the handyman who repairs hen houses? B. What is a 70s slang term for a bothersome salesman? Or C. What is the medieval name for a craftsman who makes wooden barrels, etc.? Go Groaners Live. Answers please. Those at home, you know the score. Bees are flying in there from some of the Groaners Live. More bees. More bees. More. Okay. Right, I get you on that one, Groaners Live. You've clearly gone for B. Last round, round 3. Your answer is Tuffet, a la Little Miss Muffet. Your questions are A. What is an out-of-date term for your bum? B. What is the out-of-date term for a low seat? Or C. What is an out-of-date term for a dirt mound? Go Groaners Live. Answers please. Those at home, same as before. Oh, we have a split. C's and B's down the line from the Groaners Live, I think. Roughly a split on the last round. And on that note, another game is over for another week, and the points revelation is on the horizon, but that is for later. I give the floor to one of you now, dear Groaners. It's audience groan time. Dumasani is back again for his final groan, this time from Sir Gosforth. He's emailed in. His groan is, why is it, when something is simple, do some people have to then overcomplicate things? Dumasani, this sounds like every flat pack furniture instruction book I've ever read. Cheers for the groan. If you want to take part like Dumasani did, if you know either myself or Admin Nicole can give us a verbal groan, you can join the fun on the Facebook group which is the Groan Zone podcast group. You can join on Discord, just simply search for the Groan Zone, where we record every Friday, usually at 8:30pm Greenwich Mean Time. You can message both myself and Admin Nicole, that's Mr. E. Groaner, on Facebook Messenger, and Admin Nicole, Nicole Amos, I should say, on Facebook Messenger. Or you can drop a comment on any episode you've listened to, and we'll pick it up and have a look and see what you got. Send us your groans, your why or whys, your what-thers, your suggestions, your feedback, anything you want to send in, your heroes or Zero of the Week nominations. We're here, Groaners. Give us your content. The end of the show's nearing, but we aren't there yet, Groaners. For now, we must name our Zero of the Week. This week's Zero goes to the disgusting pig of a supermarket owner in Greater Manchester. No offence, Greater Manchester. I've been to Manchester. You're a lovely town. Or city, I should say. Health inspectors were called out to Gorton Superstore, where they found food packages gnawed open by rats, and also dead and decomposing rats. He hadn't even emptied rat traps. All these offences came to light for an inspection of the supermarket in August 2023 by the council's environmental health team. During their visit, they discovered a host of unacceptable violations of basic food safety and hygiene standards. How in the hell can you call yourself a store owner, for God's sake? Have some pride in yourself and the safety of your customers. Zero status achieved with a big fat thumbs down. You, my friend, are a zero, and not just for the week. Game answers to come now. Who got points and who didn't? Good luck to you all, Groaners. Kicking us off is the answer to Admin Nicole's anagram anxiety. Your anagram answer from last week is Labafena, a kindly witch who brings gifts to good little children, depositing them in stockings hung above the hearth, then tidying up a bit before taking her leave. Befana arrives after children have gone to bed on the eve of Festa del Epifana, that's a feast of Epiphany, which for Italy is January the 5th. The Epiphany on the 6th of January is as significant as Christmas in Italy, as it's also the 12th night. Double down, Dummies. Round 1. The correct outcome was B. He pushed a whalebone into his urethra to clear the blockage. The flexible catheter was invented in 1952 by Benjamin Franklin to help his brother who suffered from bladder stones. Flexible catheters were in medical use at this time, in the time when the groaner passed away, so he should have known way better than what he did to go see a doctor, the silly sod. Congratulations, you got points on that round, Groaners. Round 2. The correct outcome was C. To get one up on the machine, he sprayed aerosol gas can after can into the ticket machine. He loaded the empties into a bag and set them alight. The explosion blew both himself and the ticket machine up. He died in the scene even after efforts to keep him alive. Possibly explaining your mistake to a ticket attendant to amend the erroneous ticket would have been better than this course of action, you idiot. Last game, give me the question. Round 1. Your answer was goiter. Your correct question was B. What is a medical term for the enlargement of your thyroid gland? Round 2. Your answer was a Cooper. Your correct question was C. What is the medieval name for a craftsman who makes wooden barrels, etc.? Or round 3. Your answer was a tuffet. Your correct question was B. What is the outdated term for a low seat? Here's hoping you out there got some points, Groaners. I hope you did. Wrapping the show up now, we have Who the Hell Am I? Your clue is, I run the school in The Simpsons. And don't worry, I'll drop the link. Not the link. I'll drop the picture onto Facebook and Discord. I promise I will. I know I said the same thing last time and I clean forgot. The answer to this week's picture puzzle will come next week. This rolls this episode onto its back so the Groan Zone can rest for another week. Next week is our Christmas special, and the week after is the New Year special. So tune in then, Groaners. Take care. See you later. Bye-bye. week's zero goes to this week's groan. What?